Hi guys, this is Hitbox Jato back with hopefully the last installment of my Dragon Ball FighterZ Footsies guide, but in reality there's probably going to be a few more videos down the line. But as far as the, let's say, 3 main pillars of Footsies, like I always say, this is going to be the last one, and today we are covering whiff punishing. Again, quick refresher, whiff punishing is what you do to beat poking. Whiff punishing beats poking. Whiff punishing, of course, also includes moving back in order to get the space to be able to whiff punish, which is why, you know, the pokes that they're going to try to throw out at you are going to whiff, and you punish the whiff. That's why it's called a whiff punish, all right? Key there for whiff punishes is you have to make the attacks whiff. If they don't whiff, if you block it or they hit you instead, obviously you can't punish it. So that's your whole goal there. Remember, they're going to be throwing something out as a poke to try to hit you, and you punish the poke. And so whiff punish. Now, I saved this video for last because this is definitely one of the more, again, a little bit more of the abstract, maybe one of the more difficult aspects of applying as Footsies. But it's also one of the, let's say, more rewarding things. Like when you see the whiff punish happen and you know it's going to happen and you successfully do it, like in my opinion, that's like one of the most fun thing in fighting games across the board. And now in Dragon Ball FighterZ, whiff punishing looks pretty weird, pretty different, and you may not always like recognize that it's happening, even when you yourself are doing them. That's kind of how Footsies are in general in anime fighters, actually, in air dash fighters, which is why I'm doing these videos in the first place, right? Now, here's the first thing I want to touch up on is that, like I said, whiff punishing involves 2 parts. First, you need to make the attack whiff, and then you need to punish it in and of itself. So like I said, whiff punishing, moving backwards, is what you do to beat poking. So you get out of the range in which the poke is going to hit you or reach you, right? This is where, you know, it's a little bit muddy, or let's say a little bit difficult to apply, because just like poking, just like moving forward, the moving backward portion of whiff punishing is very much predictive. You can't reasonably react to an attack that's coming at you and then move out of the way. You kind of have to guess that the attack is coming and then move to where it's not what you anticipate is coming isn't going to hit you. So the moving backwards portion of whiff punishing is predictive. Now, once you see the attack whiff, because you've successfully avoided it, because you've successfully moved out of the way of it, hitting the attack and actually hitting the whiff punish is theoretically reactive. Now, that doesn't always work out because of the way this game works and how fast attacks can be, but in theory, you want to be trying to actually hit the opponent as a reaction. So let's break that down, okay? So first thing you have to do is you have to get out of range, or make it so that the poke that they're throwing at you is a whiff instead of something that you block or something you get hit by. Now here I have Gotenks, because Gotenks has one of the more, let's say, obnoxious pokes in the game, and that's his beam. It's extremely fast, it's a beam durability attack, covers the full screen, and not only is it extremely fast, it recovers extremely quickly as well. So if you block this attack, like, you're probably in a bad position. You can call an assist afterwards, or you can vanish and he's gotten in for free, and he's gonna mix you because he's Gotenks, right? So this is one of those attacks from Gotenks, for example, that is very important that you make a whiff. So just as an example, repeat attack, quarter, what's the input? Dang it. Quarter circle S, right? And S is A. That's what yeah. So very fast, very hard to beat if you get hit by it. Very hard to whiff punish if you see it, right? Now, the first thing, like I said, you have to do is make it so this attack doesn't hit you. Obviously, moving backwards, like the traditional Street Fighter way you would make something whiff, isn't going to work. So moving backwards in this game actually includes being in the air and jumping. Now once you see it whiff, you want to be able to react and punish it on reaction. So luckily in this game there's an all-purpose whiff punish, and you guessed it, it's this move, Super Dash. Alright, so you predict, again, I'm not going to be able to react to the startup of this beam and then jump. I'll get hit if I just jump. You need to be in the air ahead of time, right? So you make a whiff because you predict it's coming. I screwed up there, or like he attacked a little bit later, so it didn't whiff. See it whiff, try to whiff punish there. That one actually might have been blocked, but that's the idea. That same idea applies everywhere else in the game as well, right? Whether it's a normal or a special or a hard tag or super dash, right? You get the space to where the attack isn't going to hit you and you punish it. So, quick example, say it's a stand medium attack, right? That's Y in this game, right? Very far forward moving attack. What the heck? Moves forward, whiff punish it. Moves forward, whiff punish it, right? Now to avoid that attack or something like it, actually, you know what? Let's tag him out here and let's put Bardock in because this is a much better example. The thing that you have to do in order to successfully get a whiff punish varies depending on what the opponent is going to poke you with, which is why, like I said, it's kind of hard, it's kind of difficult. You have to predict what they're going to do. Bardock, of course, also has an extremely powerful poke. It's the quarter circle forward lariat. Everybody loves the lariat, right? So it goes full screen, only safe on block, tons of blocks done, real easy to confirm into a combo, call an assist or whatever. You'll see this all the time for Bardock's just throwing that out there. The reason why this move is so hard to whiff punish is because it's very hard to make whiff, but it's not impossible. You get to the range where it's not going to reach you, and then you punish it. Preferably as hard as you can, right? But in order for me to have done that, remember, whiff punishing is what beats poking. Remember what beats whiff punishing, though? What beats moving backwards? That's moving forward. So if the opponent is just running at you and you're trying to whiff punish, they're going to close the gap on you. You won't be able to make that attack whiff anymore. So play around with it. Like, moving backwards, remember, includes jumping, getting out of the way of it. So hopefully you can get a whiff punish like that, right? But that's what you kind of have to do for stuff in this game. Okay? So again, in concept, not too difficult to grasp, hopefully, right? In practice, this is definitely going to be one of those things where you're going to have to practice a lot because so many different characters have so many strong moves that just close the gap in this game. It's hard to make stuff whiff in this game, so therefore it is hard to whiff punish, but it's not impossible by any means, alright?